Hello, Scorpio friends. I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my Scorpio October 2024 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. Well, it's Scorpio time. As this month progresses, personal planets will start moving into your sign. Plus, we have so many other things to talk about, and all of this energy is bringing mysteries elucidated, magnetism and manifestation amplified, supercharged. So I'm going to go into all of the details, talk about the threads that will weave together the astrological fabric of your experience at this time. I'm going to talk about short-term factors, ones that will blow through pretty quickly. And we're also going to talk about the eclipse that's happening that is going to be affecting for a while to come. And we're still in the web of the September eclipse, so we've got a lot going on to discuss here. We also have impending Mars retrograde, and Mars is one of your ruling planets. Okay, so YouTube friends, I'll be working off of the chart. Podcast listeners, I will put the chart as the thumbnail so that you can take a peek if you would like to. The first most notable thing is that congregation of all those planets to the left of the chart in Libra. We've got transiting South Node, the Sun, Mercury, Astrea, Lilith, and Juno all in Libra. And as the month progresses, we'll talk about how the Sun and Mercury will join Venus in Scorpio. So we're going to talk about this progression, and then we'll get to some longer term transits. Whenever there are many planets in a certain sign, in this case it's Libra, there is a party in that sign, and the party is all about relationships. So we know at this time, the Libra time, September, October, November, Libra into Scorpio, these are the partnership focused times of the year. Everything gets to be better together. Things have to be ironed out where there are conflicts between people, and opportunities will come from connections with others. Now, using this party analogy, if the theme of the party is Libra, so that's air, an air sign, it's intellectual, it's like a mastermind meeting, and then each of the members of the party, planets moving through here are the placements, those are party goers. Those are people with separate personalities that have the things that they bring to the party. And all of this I'm going to look at through the lens of mystery, magnetism, and manifestation. So let's just take this piece by piece. When we have transiting South Node in a sign, that means that the eclipses that are happening around that time are in that polarity, Libra Aries. And we know that on October 2nd, we have a 10-degree Libra solar eclipse, which we'll also talk about when we add to this party, because that's additional. And when we have the transiting nodes getting close to, see how this is early 6 degrees, this is moving backwards. So it's moving towards the Virgo Pisces continuum. That's when we're getting to be like at a transition here. That's when we have eclipse cycles that are weaving together. So that's why we have the Libra Aries eclipse cycle that started in early 2023 and will go into the first half of 2025, happening at the same time as this new Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle. And we're not going to talk that much about the Pisces Virgo eclipses because I talked about that in September. So you can listen to my September horoscopes. Podcast listeners, just scroll back in history till you find Scorpio September. And YouTube viewers, I'll put the playlist at the end of the video, or you can find it on my homepage. So we've got a new Pisces Virgo eclipse storyline working in that will be in effect from now until 2027. Okay, so these are longer term things that we'll touch back on later, but just wanted to mention it while we're talking about the nodes, because the nodes circulating are related to these bigger themes. So when you have a transiting South Node in Libra going through your 12th house, as it is for Scorpio, this is the energy of a mystery becoming unveiled. So this subtle influence of the South Node is bringing an invitation for Scorpios to uncover and release the mysteries of your past. These can be recent past, these can be karmic past, these can be ancestral past, these can be lifetime pasts. So you're getting coaxed into tuning into the subtle layers that make up your current experience. So this transit is going to help you let go of old patterns that aren't serving you. This 12th house is a water house, just like Scorpio is a water sign. This is a deep unconscious space. It's a connectedness. It's where we're all one, the cosmic soup of connectivity to everything. So as you release these old patterns, there could be addictions, there could be fears, there could be worries, there could be physical addictions or emotional ones, then it leaves more room for new empowered expressions of your deepest desires. And in the time before your birthday, which is when the sun crosses over this magical line and goes here, and this is still relevant even if you have a Scorpio placement other than your sun, because the sun will still cross that magical point for you. It just will cross your ascendant or your moon or your, whatever your Scorpio placement is. But this is a time of new beginnings. So in the time before new beginnings, you've got this deep dive into the things that you don't want, so that you can use your birthday wishes, that you use your birthday intentions, or you can use the intentions of the sun moving through your placement to become more empowered and to be more in touch with what you want. So you figure out the things that you don't want so that you can use that energy to create the new things, which is this first house, according to what you do want. So you're basically embracing release, and you're allowing hidden aspects of your life to be elucidated, the mysteries to be solved or brought up, and you can transform those hidden aspects into a great source of strength and of wisdom and of new beginnings. Now, this transiting South Node will also increase your magnetic attraction to creating new things, aligning with your true path, drawing in what you need to move forward, whether it's relationships, career opportunities, or personal growth. This energy will bring in manifestation of inner power. So by letting go of the things that don't serve you, you'll unlock a powerful potential within yourself. And that can help you manifest your deepest desire. So you could see how the mystery and the magnetism and the manifestation are all linked here, which is why I called the theme of this month that. But this very much has to do with your soul's purpose. It very much has to do with a profound up-leveling in life. And eclipse time tends to do that, but also planets moving through the 12th house in that transition into the first house also tend to do that. So then we have the transiting sun, which is going to illuminate hidden mysteries in this space. There's a gentle, sometimes like subtle, or it can be a very profound breakthrough where you see parts of yourself that you had never seen before. You see parts of yourself that you may not like, that you want to transmute. You see parts of yourself that you want to bring more of. And this process of moving through this placement into the first house, this is going to help you radiate magnetism. Okay, so the sun, as it interacts with the Scorpio energy, is going to amplify your natural magnetism, and it's going to increase your charisma. It's going to increase your influence and your potential to inspire others around you. So it's like your very presence becomes this beacon of transformation for others as well as yourself. And if you're already like that and already doing that, great. It will just be supercharged at this time. If you're not already doing that, you may step into that at this time. So the manifestation can also bring more of your true self. So this is a period of time where you can exude power and confidence, express your authentic desires, and you can make significant strides towards your goals. Energy of Mercury at the party is going to bring the communication element here. So this can allow you to delve into the mysteries of your mind, either through education or somebody helping you to get there, like conversing with others, therapists, practitioners who work in that space. It can help you to write or speak about topics that are close to your heart and to be very reflective. It can help you to magnetize your mental influence so you can draw in others and captivate them with your depth of thought and insight. So if you're a creator, this is a fantastic time. And this 12th house is kind of this quiet place before we burst into this new energy. So you've got this transition this month of all this quiet, sacred, private, inner reflecting energy, and then this bursting out. Mercury can also help through strategic thinking and strategic planning. And as I said, this party is like a mastermind party. So you may find that with connecting with others, you may be able to get your strategy together and to increase your clear communication. Now, I'm just going to jump over this way a little bit just to start to roll Mars into the discussion. You have two rulers, Pluto and Mars. And Pluto is retrograde a great bit of the time, so we don't talk about that a great deal. But Mars only goes retrograde every 2 years and 2 months. And a lot of the time it's retrograde is going to be in fellow water signs. So starting at this point, October, well, actually started already in September, the moving through Cancer, you're going to have a long period of time where one of your rulers is making wonderful aspects with your placements through this beautiful water trine. Emotion, connectivity, feeling, flow, and all of this is in your ninth house, which is teaching and learning and expanding and optimism. And it's in the energy of Cancer, which has to do with family, family of origin, family of created, homes, real estate, home-based projects or work. So we've got this storyline that's weaving itself in. And as of October 7th, the first week of October is a very, very important week. If you listen to my September report, you have some insight into it. If not, I'll give you a quick overview. When we have the personal planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, free from retrograde or the shadow periods before and after, which turn out to be very retrograde-y as well. That's why I include them. We have a time free from those transits. It's like a time to put your boats out to sea. It's a time to launch new things, make big decisions. You'll have the most clarity about the distant future at that time. You'll have the most oomph to lock into your long-term goals. But then as October 7th comes and every day past, we go deeper into Mars retrograde. Now, it's not going to go retrograde yet, but every day we move into October past the 7th, it starts getting into retrograde. And this is not a bad thing, but this is a thing that can create a lot of frustration if you're trying to force things. Mars is assertive. It can be forceful. It can be passionate. And this is a time where we really have an opportunity to start watching our energy more. I like thinking about working like with horses or with other animals because they're very, very, very sensitive to your energy. If you walk up to a horse or even a pet rabbit or a dog or whatever, they can sense your energy and they feel it, even if you don't realize it. If you've had caffeine and you're amped up, they can start to get anxious from anxiety that you don't even know that you're feeling. And so this exercise in becoming more aware of what is in your field and how you're feeling and what you're radiating is going to be the story of Mars. And this retrograde cycle between the time it starts its dive into the shadow period, October 7th, is going to go well into 2025. By the time it goes direct, February, and then has its post-shadow period, this is a very long time. So you have this chance to go backwards and inwards, to reevaluate, to get more careful, to get more deliberate. But the first week of October is still the time to build as many webs as you can all over the place. And then as we sink into the retrograde time, it'll be a time to hang out in your web and see what comes to you and catch what comes there rather than trying to conjure, right? So there's a very strong line of delineation there that's happening. And Mars is factoring into all of this. So with your mastermind, with your meetings, with the things that you're deciding, with this, grouping of connectivity that's happening, you may want to schedule these kind of things early in the month so that you can take some positive action that will be in effect for a long time. Okay, now let's just add Astrea into the mix. Now the healing mysteries are starting to come up, and Astrea can help with the healing of old wounds, unresolved mysteries of any kind. It's a time that you can address any lingering issues that have been hidden away, and you can allow for really deep healing and closure. And this magical point between the 12th house and the first house is this time to close things up, to get ready for the new birth. This can also enhance and magnetize harmony, because as you release these old patterns, you create this magnetic field of harmony around you. And something I always like to come back to, I always like to explain that manifestation is electrical. We create through electricity, and when we are attracting things to us, we have things in our field that have electric bunchings, basically, that cause a magnetism. And so as we clear out things that are in our fields that are causing a magnetism for other things that we don't want, we can change that magnetism. And this process is an electrical process. And the more coherence we can have in our electrical field, the more we can pull that into our experience. So transiting Estrella in this case can become very much about the manifestation of inner peace, harmony and inner peace. Then when we add Lilith to the party, we're going back to this embracing of the mystery of the shadow, which Scorpio tends to do well. We don't have to overdo that discussion, right? Because this is just a way of being for you all. But this can also unleash magnetic power through clearing out anything that's repressed. So in the short term, with these transits through the 12th house, in the long term, with the Mars retrograde, you're going to have a great opportunity to see what has been suppressed and repressed, and hopefully get those things out in very safe ways, with the help of a therapist, or, my favorite modalities that I like to talk about, NLP and EMDR and EFT. You can look these up. Inner work is especially profound when we have these water transits, and Mars is moving through water. All these planets are moving through your water house of the 12th house. And then we'll be having things start to move into Scorpio. And as you clear out those repressed energies, you can have more manifestation of your authentic desires. So this process is very much about that. And Juno adds to the party, having to do with partnerships, magnetizing balance within relationships, committing and recommitting to your own growth and the growth of your partnerships. And then we've got the solar eclipse, which is a very big deal. So from 2023, early 2023 into the first half of 2025, we've got the Aries Libra eclipse cycle that for all signs is bringing the energy of me versus we and shuffling energy around there. And you have seen this, I'm sure many Scorpios have seen a big shuffling around of how you are focusing your time, your energy within your relationships. Power shifts are happening. This has been a huge empowerment cycle from the previous Taurus Scorpio eclipse cycle, and now the Aries Libra eclipse cycle is continuing this story by helping you to heal from codependency while still enriching and deepening your relationships. So that's happening. And for Scorpio, Aries Libra accentuates the 6th and 12th house axis, which is also the Pisces Virgo axis, which is the new set of eclipses that we have coming in. So it's like you're running double duty with this 6th and 12th house axis, which has to do with chaos versus organization, and the seen versus the unseen, and logic versus intuition, and, the abyss versus the practical. So all of that is happening. And as the solar eclipse comes in, it's continuing this storyline. And since this is a new beginning solar eclipse, there's this epic chance for new chapters in relationships, because Libra rules relationships. And there's also an epic chance for new chapters within your connection to your subconscious mind. Now, I just want to give you a couple of other dates having to do with this eclipse cycle. So I already said 2023 into the first half of 2025. More recently, the ones that we recently had prior to this cycle, you can think back to the middle of 2013 through the first half of 2016. So that whole stretch of years there. And then the beginning of 2004 through the first half of 2006. Think about the kinds of things that happened then. And you're very likely to see those types of themes occur at this time. It doesn't mean that every single thing that happened then will happen again. If something terrible happened then, it doesn't mean something terrible will happen now, because there are things that were going on then that are not going on now. So it is partly a new astrological picture in many ways. There's just this storyline of themes that you may notice that are coming up. Okay, so I want to give you another date, October 9th. Jupiter is going to go retrograde. And Jupiter has been going direct in your 8th house. If you've been listening to my reports, I get very excited about this, because Jupiter in the 8th house since May of 2024 through June of 2025 can enhance and deepen your intimate relationships, your money, your financial relationships, and, can increase your chance for winning money or it dropping in your lap out of the blue. This is other people's money. So other people's money is going to continue showing up as a strong possibility for Scorpios for a while. Now that Jupiter is in retrograde, you may see a slowing down to some of that, and you may see a shoring up. So let's say a bunch of stuff happened in these arenas. Well, now you've got to go back and discern through the things that you've been focusing on and see what you can isolate as the most important things. Or maybe you had a whole bunch of stuff dropped in your lap, and now you're starting to fine tune small pieces. But between now And February 4th, 2025, Jupiter is going to be retrograde. And so you'll notice that you may be going through and looking at all the legal mumbo jumbo that you may have agreed to or that may have come to you over the last however long, and maybe starting to make people follow through with promises that they made, maybe starting to contractually get things that were promised to you, or you could be moving further, within something like this. It can be a fantastic time to play and win the lottery. I'm not an advocate of addictive gambling. I think it could be incredibly destructive, and I've seen that. So I'm definitely not encouraging that. But if you have some extra money and you have a nudge and you buy a lotto ticket or a sweepstakes, the energy of finding money, even on the street, is more enhanced at this time. And it's good for you to know that, because you could be extra lucky with things like that. Okay, so as it becomes birthday time for the early degree Scorpios, and as we continue to have Venus moving through here and Mercury will move through, this is going to be a deep dive into the mystery of yourself, of your physical body, of your identity, of your self-expression. This is going to be a powerful time to explore who you truly are and who you are right now versus who you were. Some of the retrograde energies may bring back people from the past to help you remember who you used to be and either get back to some roots of who you really are, or to notice how you've changed and that maybe your upbringing created some of that energy that wasn't truly you. This magnetizing of personal power is profound. If you have to take pictures or do something where you want people, you need to be more persuasive, this period of time is very good for that, and that will go into November. This can be a great time for manifestation of a new identity. So, just giving a basic example, like you are an artist and now you want to become an architect, or vice versa, something that is in you that you've maybe lost touch with or you didn't know was there, you could be bringing that out. And there's just a lot of this energy, just keep going back to it, right? Where you dive into the mystery, the magnetism is increased, and the manifestation is supercharged. And that is just the story that continues. And this can have to do with your physical body now as well, and your identity and how people see you. And then you can get, ripe and ready for those birthday wishes or birthday intentions if you are a Scorpio placement of any other kind. I don't think I mentioned earlier, but this is for you if Scorpio is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Scorpio placement that you're listening for. So, and those of you who know my work, you already know that. But yeah, so that's a very, very, very big time. Okay, so eclipses tend to bring a chance to clear out karma, and some of this can be very instantaneous. So you may notice that you're popping through into a new portal of experience because of the changes coming from these eclipses at this time. Also have a full moon on October 17th in Aries, 24 degrees. Fullness, completion, fruition, drama can come, for better or worse, to things involving Aries, which is the first house, which is already enhanced. So you have more than just these transits going through your first house, accentuating that field of experience. So all of the physicality, the health, the vitality, the ambition, all of those things may be coming up very strongly. And as Mars starts to go into its retrograde, one of two things tends to happen. People get lazy and lose their ambitions, and then they start to hone in on one thing and get super micro obsessed with that, or they just get lazy altogether. So either like the obsession takes over all the time and then people avoid doing what they're supposed to do, or there's just this general lack of ambition or confusion. And between Jupiter and Mars doing their retrograde things, you may notice a dialing back of some of the things that you're trying to accomplish. And this can really help you to have more presence, more calm, more serenity, more peace, because some of those ambitions are dialed back. I have Aries rising, and Mars rules Aries. So I'm there with you, with the closeness of what this Mars energy can do. And I've come to really love Mars retrograde because it gives me a break from myself and my ambitions and how I am. So you may find that too. And if you know just this piece, that this is purposeful, this is what's supposed to be happening, then you won't try to fight it. You won't try to resist it. And you can just roll back into just your ease, resting on your laurels a bit, making your ambitions a little bit less, making everything be a little less stressed because you're not pushing as hard. And this would be a natural flow and a way to align with natural rhythms of the universe. Now, the full moon for Scorpio happens in the 6th house of Virgo. So health, pets, your workplace, there could be something elucidated there, something coming to fullness, completion, fruition, something you've been working for, maybe even something related to what we talked about here, where you're going back over things and trying to get something that was promised to you, maybe in the workplace or contractually. You know, this may be a time where something that you've been needing to happen from that will happen. I've given you a bunch of dates. Later on, I'm going to show you how to get to become part of my free VIP community, because one of the perks there is that when you sign up for my free email newsletter, you will get access to my sweet and salty list for each month. So you can click on the archives in the welcome letter. I'll give you the instructions later, and you can access more dates. So if you like the dates and you want to have things marked down and know the types of aspects that are happening and the things that may be affecting you, then you'll definitely want to do that. And I'll also tell you later how to access my Eclipse resource page, which will tell you more about what to know from the eclipses from September and October, because we are still being affected by the eclipse that happened in September. So we've got a lot of lines of energy weaving together the fabric of your story experience right now. One more thing to know about Mars in the 9th house, as it will be there for very long, is that this is about teaching and learning. You may find that you're getting very deeply engaged in education. That may be the thing that you're mono-focusing on, or teaching, or trying to create content. This is also an immigration house. It's publishing, so publishing of all kinds of content, writing, visual, whatever it is. And this energy very much has to do with different countries and different cultures and different languages. So you will have a long-term enhancement of those energies. Okay, so make sure you like, subscribe, and click the bell. As I've been told, if you don't click the bell, you won't receive my notifications. And if you enable notifications, it makes it even more likely that you're not going to miss anything that I post. And if you want early access to my public horoscopes, then go to anniehelpsyou.com. You will see this page. Scroll down there, put your name and email address in here, click receive. You'll get a welcome letter into your inbox. Sometimes it goes to spam. You can find it there and move it to your inbox. And there will be my Eclipse resource page. There will be my zodiac health tips. You'll get my 28-day virtual coaching program. All of this for free. These are VIP perks. And at that archive link, you can search for October 2024 astrology to get my write-up of the sweet and salty dates. A lot of different dates that I didn't talk about in this report of aspects that you will really want to know and how you may see them manifest. Lots more goodies. I'm always finding out ways I can give extra perks to this community. You also get monthly mini astrology lessons. Now, if you're interested in learning astrology and you want something more structured and a system, I have that too. I've been an astrology teacher for decades, and I've helped many, many people get to where their passion of the stars helps them to earn money. So you can scroll down on that same page, click on Up Level, and you will see my Astrology Basics and Beyond course, or my Become a Professional Astrologer Mastery Certification course. If you think I put a lot into my free offerings, you should see what I put into those courses. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month.